Welcome to Talk Theory. It's your host, Kiara Barnes, where I talk all things life, what makes us human, and what makes us superhuman. Sit back, relax, and join me for a chat. Hey, everyone. So something new and exciting is happening right now as I record this. I am attempting making video footage with this podcast. Who knows if this is actually going to work and be available on YouTube, but if all things go according to plan, then I will have that. Also, Luna is also visible here. She really wants to be seen today. She's managing video and sound. So if you hear some meows, that's our girl Luna. Okay, welcome back to another episode of Talk Theory. So this week is different. By the way, Fantasy Island is back. We are coming on tonight. We took a little hiatus, as some of y'all know, but we're back tonight on Fox at 8/7 Central. Okay. And then next day on Hulu. So thank you for being patient. And yeah, we're going to get into today's topic, which is on staying focused on your dreams and your visions. I was having this conversation with my dad, and he was just in town, and we were discussing how interesting it is to us that our desires are so individual, you know? And my dad and I, we had been driving around and we passed this donut shop, and my dad had just said, wow, I can't imagine, waking up every single morning and making donuts like super early. 'Cause you got the breakfast rush and all that. And I just said, yeah, that's kind of what's cool about having your own desires and your own individual passions, because someone out there, really loves making donuts. Someone out there has a passion for that. And that's kind of their meditation, that's their time of release when they're, kneading out the dough and then preparing the icing. And that's just where they feel best, but for me, I've never really felt, I've never really had that kind of passion. Don't get me wrong, I love baking and all that, but I've never really had a passion to, set up a donut shop. And that's okay. Just like not everyone wants to be an actor, right? Not everyone wants to be in the entertainment industry. And I know people that would rather do something else. But again, that's kind of what I love about desires and how individual they are and personal, because they really are. They're just like very specific to you and only you. And, I think it's cool because I can't really share the same feelings as you when it comes to whatever it is that you love or what you have a passion for, which is to say that there is a definite reason why you can't stop thinking about whatever it is that you dream of and whatever it is that you visualize most often. It's completely meant for you. And I believe most people already know what it is that they want to do. And I don't think desires ever really go away. I think we already have these desires and passions embedded in us. And the only thing that keeps us separate from, seeing these visions and passions fully come to fruition or manifest in our lives is really us, like I just feel that we have the key to make these things come into our reality. And I think there's a few reasons why these visions can really be halted. And for me, I think the top two reasonings are from one, outside sources, and two, your internal beliefs. And an environment can affect your beliefs, family, friends, all of that can affect your beliefs. And this is why I think sometimes it's best to it depends, but sometimes I think it's best to keep your ideas and your dreams to yourself until you feel comfortable and safe to share them. And because if you're, still trying to find confidence in your dreams and passions, and you share to someone who's not in the mind space to be able to entertain that or even support that, it can feel really discouraging. For example, when I first started making music and started acting, I knew that that's what I wanted to do, and I knew that it was what I loved to do, but I was still working on getting to the point where I could openly share that with other people around me, like without the fear of being judged, and now I can confidently say, yes, I love acting, and yes, I'm great at acting, and yes, I'm a musician, and I'm a great musician, and on and on and on. But, it wasn't always like that at all. I used to definitely look for outward confirmation of these things, whether it be in an acting coach or a casting director, or just even like a team member or a family, or like a significant other or a friend. I just kept putting my power in the hands and the minds of everyone but me. And, that's not the best thing to do, because then this would just really slow down like my progress to doing what it was that I loved, because I didn't feel as inspired, depending on however someone felt about it, it would influence me. So, if someone didn't share the same level of passion or excitement, I feel a little down, I wouldn't be feeling so hot about it. And so eventually, I got to a point of feeling more confident about it, but I got to that point with all the things that I love to do is when I just got tired of doing exactly that, like searching for validation from other people and valuing other people's opinions on something that I just love to do. And when I stopped doing that, that's when I could just really enjoy it. And it was like, don't get me wrong, it definitely was a process, and I had to do a lot of like inner work, and I had to practice doing things just for me, just so I could kind of get into that rhythm and that way of thought already. And even I'm like talking like on a small scale too. Like it would be the little things that would eventually build me up to feeling more confident, but it would be like going to a movie, you know, by myself. Because I'm making a choice on something that I want to see without anyone else's opinion, and I get to go and enjoy it with myself. You know, or not enjoy it, but either way, like I'm making a decision and I'm following through because Kiara wanted to, you know? And I continued to do that. Like, even if it was, you know, oh, I really want to go on a walk around the park. That was helpful because, again, I was choosing things that I wanted to do. And these small choices for myself would just lead me into feeling way more confident about, you know, like I really do know myself. I really do have a good time even with myself, and just trusting that, you know, if I can make these little decisions about the things that I enjoy and really like, and these decisions actually affect me in a bigger scale, or, you know, in a better way, then why not, you know, continue to make more decisions for me? And I just started feeling way more comfortable with who I was, and even got to know myself on a more deeper level for sure than before. And I would also go to like acting classes, or go to open mic sessions by myself and just practicing that, like doing things for me, just to remind myself of how good it feels to do things that I love and not in service of anyone else but me. And I eventually got to the point of doing this where, you know, I really started appreciating my abilities and instincts. Because when you're by yourself and you're doing these things, it's just you and your thoughts. It's like you don't have anyone else around you to be telling you if you're doing something good enough or whatever. You're just in your own space, your own element. So that was also just really nice, which only led me to like continue servicing myself and loving myself. And only then I was able to confidently say whatever it was that I was pursuing or wanting to do, I was able to vocalize that and not really care about how anyone else felt, or allow myself to be influenced, or to shift my own goals and aspirations because, you know, of what someone said. Like, because I did all that work, I just felt very in tune with me. And it's not to say that, you know, I never get challenged and there's never, you know, a time that I don't feel this way. There's certain things even now, I know not to share because I'm still working on grounding my beliefs in the I know, you know, and I'm talking like past belief, but just knowing, like an absolute knowing. And there's been times where I've shared something maybe, you know, a little too early, and, you know, where I'm still working through believing or knowing it for myself. And then I've shared it too early. And if someone was even wobbly about it, or again, right, didn't hold the same energetic excitement, all of a sudden that would plant seeds of doubt in me, and I wouldn't feel like, oh, maybe I shouldn't be doing this, you know, or, you know, I would just take a pause on it. But, you know, I now have definitely more clarity and understanding that it is not my job, okay? It is not my job or up to me to sit and convince someone of something that makes me happy. period. It's just, it's not my job. It's not my job to explain all the things that make sense for me and what I want to do. We're all humans and we all have different lives and experiences and how we grew up and what we do. Why would I, try and sit and convince someone if they just don't get it? So it's okay. People don't have to agree upon everything. And, look, I'm sure someone out there loves, I don't know, studying insects for a living. It's just not me, babes. It's just not me, but someone out there does. And I can appreciate that. Anyway, I don't know. I already know that these things that I feel, I'm being called to it for a reason. Like there's something that I can't necessarily shake, and that doesn't always need to be explained. And the cool thing is letting go of that is going to bring so much more ease into your life, because then you'll just be coasting, You'll realize that you can just do whatever you want. And that, my friends, feels heavenly. That is awesome. And it's a release. There's no more, heavy pressure, and you can just let what you do be enough convincing. There's been plenty of times where people around me have questioned my abilities to receive or achieve something, and I kept it to myself, didn't need to update them on everything, and I knew that I would succeed regardless of what anyone else thought. And I did. And I have. That's happened plenty of times in my life. And, some of those folks ended up coming back around to ask, how did you do that? And how did you make that happen? And I just explained with a smile on my face. There's nothing to be sour or petty about, because at the end of the day, they are limited by their own beliefs, like I once was. Everyone ever has been limited to their beliefs at some point in time. Which, by the way, I don't think anyone wants to feel limited. I don't think anyone really wants to feel that, because it's so restricting. But there's certain programming that has been ingrained into all of us to think a certain way, or to just not believe in your passions, because all of that, all of the whole negative what ifs, that has been taught in society for a really long time, to just think and believe that way. So of course, if, someone sees you going outside of the norm of what's been taught, it's really confusing at first and maybe a little uncomfortable. But when they see that, oh my gosh, wow, they're really living their best life, and see how you're also not bitter to share what it is that you did, they're able to have their heart open to an experience and to actually experience the same thing, and even be that example to whoever, they meet on their path. So, it's all a rippling effect. And as a collective, the main goal and objective is to feel good, and feel love. So if those two things are happening, you're in pretty good shape, you're in pretty good shape. All is well. And, remember that this is all a work in progress. Remembering that there's nothing to get right. There's nothing to make perfect. And even both of those things, getting right or making something perfect, would just be insinuating the finishing or the end of something. And that's really the opposite of what we want. If you really think about it, it really is, because we want continuous growth and learning. That's why we always have, new desires, new manifestations, because based on the new point in space that you put yourself in and growth and things, your desires change based off of your new experiences. You wouldn't want to stay in the same place, same time, same experiences for the rest of your life and for all eternity. Like, that just wouldn't serve you. And so the growth and the moving forward, that is what makes all of this so much fun. It's the unraveling, it's the self-discovery. And I myself have definitely been learning that more now than ever. I think, I don't know. It's just like sometimes within spirituality, you think, oh, I really get it now. And I understand. And then you get introduced to another level of something and realize, like, wow, oh my gosh, there's more to this. Like, there's more here. There's more discovery. And you get more information. And that just shows you that there's just so much to be known and so much to learn in its own right. There's just so much to really experience. And the more you keep your heart open to that, the more that you will discover and understand and get to just live out in true happiness of understanding things past what they look like or what they seem, So this week, the theory is this. Plant the seed from within and watch it flourish and bloom from the inside out. Ooh, mic drop. Plant the seed from within and watch it flourish and bloom from the inside out. I like it. How cute is that? Essentially what I'm saying here is allow yourself to nourish your dream or whatever it is that you want to bring into your life or experience through the watch and the care of your own. And look, you don't need multiple people to take care of one seed, right? You don't need like 6 gardeners if you're just have one seed in a pot. You can do all of that with just one person, aka you. You can do it all on your own. And when it's time to bloom, you will flourish from all of that love and all of that care that has been invested in your own dream and your own passion because you took the time to care. It wasn't your neighbor. It wasn't your mom. It wasn't your parents. It wasn't your cousin. It wasn't your uncle, blah, 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 blah. It was you ultimately that decided that I really do have a passion for this and it really does make me happy. And also when you share your passions with the world, it doesn't even have to be, singing, dancing, music or anything like that. But if you truly have a connection to something, that is pure positive energy being put into something. And it's going to affect people no matter what it is that you're doing. You can go to I had an example and I'll go into it another week, but I had experienced contrast with 2 different people and, one person, it was for clothing, but one person was just not as helpful. But the second person, all of a sudden, like the energy just switched when they came to assist me and help me. And I even expressed to them like, hey, like, you've made me feel so comfortable, and I'm just having such a good time with you. And they were just like, yeah, I just love what I do. I really love what I do. And you could tell, it was so much deeper to them than just doing a job, because they actually loved it. So an experience that I'll remember and I'll go into on another episode. So, take care of yourself, take care of your dreams, and you will 100% be rewarded in the end. Okay? Trust me. Trust me, trust me, trust me. Thanks again for listening. All right. Take care. Like I said, also, let us not forget, folks, I will be seeing you all tonight, actually, on Fox for Fantasy Island's episode. Okay. We're dropping at 8/7 Central. And next day on Hulu. Okay, love you. Bye.